am so tired of boxes, but I love them at the same time, y'all. Hey, welcome to Hello Life Podcast with Coco. Uh, Guys, as the month ends, I have to prepare every time at the end of the month. I have to get up all these boxes that I have accumulated and get them out so that I have room for the new boxes. We're talking about cleaning up this medical stuff. So y'all know I got some conditions, and with these conditions, I receive monthly medications, and sometimes I don't always, I'm not always the best with that. Let me put this up here so y'all can hear me better. I'm not always the best with making sure I stay organized with my medical supplies and things. And what'll happen is all these boxes will get stacked up, and then they start stressing me out because they in the way. And they dangerous at the same time because they could have spiders on. So that's what I'm going to be spending the next 30 minutes doing, is getting as many of these boxes broke down as I can. I'm just putting them into regular trash bags. I thought one time I wanted to try to save them, and that's why I hadn't did nothing with them yet, because I thought, that I was going to, try to create a flower bed with them. But I'm going to be honest. That's why I went on and had my granddaughter just draw my flowers. Because I don't think I'm going to have a flower bed. And this is why. The drought. We're in a drought here where I'm at. The temperatures are near 100 degrees, right at 199. Might as well say 100. And there is no water in this area to supply. Like, it's no extra water to supply. It's just enough to, eat and drink. And that's it. Don't got no extra water to have no flower garden. And that's okay, because I look at everybody else's who do got the extra water. And I'm starting to see, when I ride around town, I see where some of the neighbors' stuff is done burned up. Their things have burned up, and their flowers, and it's okay. I stick to my little house plants. Yeah. Now, I don't like doing these boxes either, by the way. They hurt my hand. But I got to get them out of here today. It's a must. I think this little bag can hold some more. And y'all, do not sleep on the Dollar General. If you don't have money to buy trash bags in bulk, don't sleep on the Dollar General and the Family Dollar bags with the flaps or the drawstring. I get the ones with the flaps I've been using, and they have been holding up pretty good. Don't overload them. If you don't overload them, you're going to be good. Because overloading them ain't going to do you no good to overload them. And then, they break. But for the most part, I didn't know they would hold up this good. And it got me thinking about switching garbage bags. These here are $1 for 10. And I paid $7 of the Glad bags for $7 for 40 of the 13 gallon. It's not bad, is it? No, it's not bad. I tell you, it's keeping housework is an ongoing job. It does not stop. And since May, y'all know we've been at this since May trying to clear my house out. I have maintained some things, and then some things, I got sick, and this is probably like the first that I've worked on anything in about 2 weeks because of that sickness. Now, sometimes we can't help it when we get sick, and we have to let our bodies go ahead and take that rest. And I have been resting these last 2 days, and it has helped so much. I mean, I feel so much. Ooh, gotta be careful of these spiders. I feel so much better since I let my body get the rest that it needed. At the same time I was resting, I kept looking around because I didn't got where I like to clean up again. I like the way things look once I get it cleaned up, and I don't even have to be filming to do it. Just get up and do it. Now, I done got used to that, being able to get up and just do what needed to be done. But again, when your body is saying, I need you to rest so we can get well, it's going to be good that you listen at your body and not your trauma. Speaking of trauma, I was laying in the bed and I was thinking the other night. I know I've been doing a lot of thinking, and that happens sometimes. I mean, I think sometimes we just naturally want to be well, and we want to do well in life, and so we try to point out our flaws to ourselves. And one of the things about me that I noticed was that every time trauma hits me mentally or emotionally, when I get in the place where I find myself doing things that kind of remind me of heartbreak, it also freezes my bones. It doesn't just keep me stuck, but it freezes my physical mobility. My physical mobility now becomes to a place where it hurts to move, it hurts to walk, it hurts to lift, it hurts to sit down. Just a lot of pain associated with it. And when that trauma is active, because I'm going to tell you, it don't matter how much you do, trauma can activate at any time in your mind. For me, when mine becomes active, my body becomes frozen. I can't do nothing but sit all day. Unless I get into those thoughts that are causing it, or I handle whatever triggered me. If I don't get to that in time, I can go for months just sitting around in pain. And even when I walk, my walk will be slow. I can't work out or anything because the trauma has then affected my physical mobility. You know that saying, oh, you scared the life out of a person? Somebody scare you, and they used to say, you scared the life out of me? That's what it's like. The trauma will literally scare the life out of you to the point where you do not be active. And that's one of the things that I have been dealing with, is learning to cope. And I got to study some more on it too, because I've got to learn. It ain't no ifs, ands about it. I've got to do more studying on this physical thing, this physical part of trauma, because it's what's been keeping me behind. It keeps me behind, and before I know it, it's a new month. But thank God this month we worked through that. But I did notice that when trauma becomes active, and trauma's not always active, I think that's where people be messing up. It's like PTSD. PTSD is not always active in a person. It's certain triggers that have to happen in order to activate that emotional response. So it's not something that you walk around and say, hey, I'm PTSD 24/7. Don't you dare say that about yourself, because that's not true. You do have some good days. You do have some good thoughts. And you should, reward yourself for those good days, those good thoughts. Treat yourself better. Your reward may not be like somebody else's reward. One person's reward might be going to the park. Another person's reward may be, like me. I love to play the bass guitar. And my bass guitar been down for 2 months now. It's been down for 2 months, and I believe that's what actually got me up to cleaning. Because usually I would go to my guitar and start playing when I don't feel good. I go play the guitar, and then I jump right back into life. But this time I went to play my guitar, and here's the honest truth. I got mad. I got mad because it wouldn't work. And then I ignored it, and I'm just not coming back to address it. I found out my guitar wasn't working right in April. The end of April is probably the last time I played my guitar. So May and all of this June, I haven't had my bass. And I was mad about it, but I couldn't address it. I had to come back and address it once once the anger part left. I was mad because I don't believe that it just stopped working on its own. I believe somebody messed with it, and that's why it stopped working, because my controls, they were moved. They were moved. They were not left in the place that I had left them. I had some things that were unscrewed, that felt, that was loosened up, and, so I could tell that somebody had tampered with it, and yes, that upset me. I could not respond to that right then. Because if I would have responded to it, it would have only hurt me. Because I'm the only one that's going to get mad about it. I'm the only one that's, going to activate trauma if I address something right then. So it might be like that sometimes. Sometimes we might not can address the pain or the emotion, process it right then, what we're going through. Now I'm talking about it because now I just got to work to a goal to get me another amp. And possibly even get me another bass guitar. Just to have another. But I don't want to get another one until I fix my room up for it. Don't want to have too many sitting here in the living room. Y'all know I got grandchildren. Grandchildren be going through some things now. They be wanting to play. But yeah, it made me upset. And I couldn't deal with it at the moment. So what I started doing was I said, well, let me do something that's going to be positive in my life. I said, well, my bedroom need cleaning. Maybe now this is the time for me to change my routine up. Instead of running to the bass guitar all the time, how about I run to some of this clutter and start getting rid of some of this clutter? And I started doing that. And I've been doing it ever since. Last night I did try to see if it would work, and it didn't work. And I just brought a brand new cord for it. But I said I'm not going to get mad over that because that's a material thing. And even though I hate to keep replacing things, I don't like having to replace things. But that's the world we in. That's the world we in. So before I lose me to a bass guitar not playing right, I'd rather just, come here, clean up some, and then come back and address the situation. So that I can think clearly, so that I'm not upset when my granddaughters come. I don't want to displace any anger. I don't want to be emotionally unavailable to those who are available to me. So that's what started this cleanup thing. And I couldn't even tell y'all that. Because if I would have told you that whenever I needed to do this, it would have changed the whole outlook of how I was looking at cleaning. It would have been like, okay, well, I'm just cleaning because my guitar's messed up. And I don't want it to, I want it to grow into this cleaning process. Because I really did need to clean. All right, let me get me a bag here. So y'all heard that turn in the background? It's me and these boxes. Cause honey, ooh, these don't have no scent. The other ones I had a scent. They smelled good. Yeah. There is absolutely nothing wrong with waiting to address your anger. When you're in a more calm state, so you don't take it out on the ones you love and the ones who love you. I'm learning. My daughter told me that when she was in 5th grade. I had her in this guidance program. Thank God for the guidance programs, by the way. The guidance programs, if you got good people in there, they really do help these kids out who have less at home. You know, it's not who have parents who were like me, who didn't know how to cope with life and who didn't know how to cope with, you know, when things don't go my way. Thank God for guidance counselors. Because when my daughter told me that, that's the first time I really ever paid any attention to her mental health and mine. She told me that it made me cautious from then on. Next time I was mad at whoever I was mad at, I was making sure, hey, don't take that out on your kids. If you mad at him, you stay mad at him. Don't take it out on them kids. Them kids ain't got nothing to do with what y'all got going on. And I didn't even realize that I was taking things out on the kids back then. But whoever taught her that, you see how many years later I'm still repeating that? That was a real lesson learned. That wasn't no acting. That was a real lesson learned for me. Y'all, these bags, they pretty good. That was a real lesson learned for me. Because nobody had never told me, nobody never put my anger in check before. Nobody did. So to have my anger put in check and questioned, let's see how much time we got. And to question my authority, I'm glad she did. I am. I'm glad she did because it has, like I said, it's gave me a new outlook on life. And each time I think about it, I think now. I think before I respond. Getting these boxes on down. Let's see, I think I got a couple more here. Got to, y'all. I can't. These boxes, they stack up so fast. Yup. So that's what started my cleaning. And then I was like, I'm going to keep on cleaning. Because I got a vision for how I want my home to look. And I'm not going to stop till I get to that. And which means possibly, you know, this it's a lifetime thing because the house is always going to need cleaning. The house will need cleaning, you know, whether I move around in it or not. You know, it gets dusty, all that. That's another thing that kids need to be taught, is to enjoy cleaning. To enjoy it because it's part of self-care. We can teach kids at an early age how to take care of their skin But we don't teach them at an early age and how to, stay safe in your space. You can't see what's going on if everything is out of place. Now, I sound like my mama saying that. Because she surely would come here and, Mama used to come here sometimes. Mama would see my counters, like if my counters were full and Mama would see my counters full, she wouldn't say nothing. She would just get up and start cleaning it up, Just start putting stuff where she thought it ought to go. And I got mad about it. And I took it as an insult instead of seeing it as help. I took it as an insult because of how I had been treated in the past. To this day, if my mama walk in this house and she sees something out of place, she gonna start just cleaning it up. I took it as an insult when I was younger. Now I'm like, yeah, come on through here. You want to help me clean up? Yeah, come on. Come on, I give you something to do. You need activity? You need activities? I give you something to do. Not realizing that was a gesture of love. And the enemy made me see it as a gesture of you picking on me. That's the way I looked at it. You picking on me. That's why you coming in here doing this. You picking on me. And truth was, she was right. I needed to clean that mess up. That mess needed to get up from there. Now that I'm 47, I see it, Mama. I see what you mean. I see now why you would walk in and start cleaning up. Because it's a part that hurts you when you see your child living in that type of way. Because and my mama used to say all the time, girl, it's mental. You can't do it for yourself because you can't. And I'd be like, why are you trying to speak down on me? And y'all know why that is, because we go to church now. This is it. Can I say it for a little bit? When we go to church, we have people in the church who don't always preach sound doctrine. And we'll hear people saying, how is it? I had it at the top of my head. When you don't hear sound doctrine, you cannot apply sound doctrine to your life. And when I would go to these different churches, church hopping is a good way to catch a church disease. And when I was church hopping to these different churches, they were teaching us, don't let people talk to you like this. Don't let people come in your house and take over. I even had some people saying, that's your house, don't let her take over your house. And that part is true too. But they didn't tell me that we need our elders. We do need elders to step in. Because elders will step in and tell you about yourself. And this the good and the bad ones. They'll tell you about yourself whether you like it or not. And then you'll be like, oh, well, grandma this, grandma that. No, it's okay to accept sound criticism, constructive criticism. It's okay. My mama was just trying to tell me, girl, every time I come to your house is full of clutter. Your tables are always dirty. Your tables are always full of clutter. Things are always out of place. But it was hard for me to take that from her and then go to her house, and her house is too. That was the hard part for me. It was hard for me to take it from her, knowing that, I would see her struggling with keeping her house clean too. But and now that I look at it, it wasn't her fault. It wasn't that she won't getting up doing something, even though she had OCD. She has OCD, and she will move things from one area to the next and call it done. She would come in and she would tell me, girl, it's mental. You cannot get up and do this yourself. You need to let somebody help you. Now that's what she told me. You need to let somebody help you. And I rebelled against it. Get out my house. Stop trying to tell me what to do. Get out. That was me. This is my house. You go run your house. Lord have mercy. I heard a man say last night, I don't know what it was on. I don't even remember if it was TikTok or Facebook. But the man said, you ought to let the elders come in and help you clean your house. And I know he's not talking about any and everybody. But when you see that a person is going directly to that mess that you got in your house, and they trying to help you get that mess out of your house, you need to sit back, let them help you, because they know that you cannot deal with your home in the state of mind that you're in. My mama knew I was in a bad state of mind. And the reason why my mind was bad was because I was a bad man. Ain't never been with a good man. So my mind stayed crazy. It stayed jacked up. And the ones who said I was strong, and the ones who said I had strength for this and strength for that, y'all need to stop lying, because the reason why I was called strong is because I was still supplying everybody's needs. I was fooling everybody. That's why they said I was strong. It wasn't because I was really strong. And they were doing they flipped psychology on me. Reverse psychology. That's what they were doing on me. They were projecting all these things that they were saying I was, so that they could continue to keep getting what they needed from me. Of course I'm going to tell you you're strong. If I need you to come help me do something, I'm not going to sit there and say, oh, you weak. You can't help me today because you weak. I'm going to build you up so you can come help me. And then after you're done, I'm going to go talk about you. That's how it was. That's how that was back in the day. But I see it now. That man surely said these young people messed up when they stopped letting their aunties, he said it like that, your aunties and your grandmas come in your house, and when they start telling you you need to clean stuff up, they know what they're talking about. Now, I don't know who's listening today, but if your grandparents is coming in your house and going straight to the clutter, you know, because back then they didn't say nothing to you. My mama would tell me she finna clean up. Sometimes my mama come in here with Clorox and things. I'd be like, no, mama. Mama come in here with bug spray and all kind of stuff. No, mama, get up out of here. I can't take that. You know what caused my reaction? The feeling of losing control. When somebody do you like that, you don't realize it, but you feel like you have lost control of your home instead of somebody coming to help you get your house back in order. Now, if I would have looked at it like that, if I would have looked at it as mama coming to help me get my house back in order, it would have been a different story. And perhaps if she would have let me know, you know, hey, I'm coming to help you today, it would have been a different story. And she did finally get where she would tell me, she'd say, okay, I'm coming to help you now. If you ain't got no help, we're coming in to do this, we're coming to do that. And she would yell, girl, won't you let me help you? That's what she would tell me. Why don't you let me help you? I'm here to help you. But it was hard to receive her help. It was so hard. Hold up, y'all. I'll have to answer that later. It was hard for me to receive her help because I had to think about all the other things she had done to me too. And that there, Lord, when you start thinking about past traumas, And I just always felt like she really was trying to embarrass me. Because people would be here and she'd be wanting to clean out the cabinets while I had guests here. And yeah, she was one of them parents. But I look at it now and I see what she was saying. I see what she meant by it. You know, this whole time I thought I was entertaining. And the whole time I didn't realize that, yeah, I was entertaining all right. People who really didn't like me. That's what I found out. I wasn't really entertaining good people. I was entertaining people who had need of me and need of what I could do for them. Oh, we done talked for 30 minutes, so I guess I ain't got but a little bit more left for these boxes. I got 30 minutes. I'm not going to do too much more. I'm going to break down these last 2 boxes, and then we're going to stop. Now, if you have narcissistic parents, which my mom is a narcissist, and that's what made it hard for me to believe that she really wanted to help me, because she's a narcissist. She's the type she would and I'm not talking bad about her, because I don't know what happened to her in her childhood. I know some of the things that happened to her in her childhood, and this is why I stay in the face of God when it comes down to honor my parents. Because I know how dangerous my mom can be. I also know how vulnerable she is now in her older age. See, she's 96 now. 96 years old. And I know she didn't get that age by being, I know she just did not get that age by herself. So I don't know. I know now, in these days that she's in now, she's a lot more conservative with her words and her thinking out loud, because she knows she's older and she knows that she got some family members, some children that's just like her, so she's cautious at how she moves. And I think that's out of protection for herself. But she do know that if it comes down to it and she need me, she knows I'll be there. I'll be there for her. And I want to get to that place where I can get my home straightened out. And then I can go with my granddaughters and say, hey, let me help you. Let's redecorate your room. Be where I can help them out. But I don't feel good saying it, knowing my room ain't right. But then again, that might be what motivates me to, change my room around. I do want to change my room around too. Ooh, Lord, the ear. Yeah. But you know what? I just know that when he said that his grandma used to come in and do their house like that, I was like, oh, I thought I was the only one got done like that. In these situations where sometimes we so mentally disturbed, sometimes we don't even realize the point that it's gotten to, but outsiders can see it. Outsiders can see you're not functioning well. They can see that you're doing things, I think I tried to do things like my biological mom. Only time we seen her have life was on the weekends. We didn't see her really, we just saw her struggle a lot. She always said she was trying to pay a bill. And I don't know where at, but she seemed like she was just always trying to pay a bill. That's what it seemed like. So we didn't really see her Monday through, I say Thursday. We didn't see her trying, in a regular scenery of life. We see her come to the house, and always asking to borrow money, and then she leave. And then the only time we see her really fixed up would be the weekend. And so that's how I am. When I'm sitting around home, I don't really fix up. But then when the weekend comes, all of a sudden I want to dress up. But now I don't even really dress up on the weekends either unless I'm going somewhere. And I say to those of us who are just like that, you know what? We have a right to be how we are. And if we did inherit some of those traits, it's okay. We will change. When we really get tired of it, we'll change. We'll change. Yup, we will. We'll change. We'll do different things and become different little Peabodys. Ooh, I almost got this done. There's 2 bags down. But yeah, if them older folk want to come in and help you clean your house, let them. If you see they are doing it from a place of love, then let them, because I believe my mama was doing it. She was trying to teach me. She really was. She was trying to teach me that you got to keep your house clean so that you can track who's coming in and out of it. That's what she was trying to teach me. Cause like I said, she done been through a lot of stuff herself. And maybe she didn't know how to show love, but at the same time, she didn't want nobody to bother me, because then that would be messing with her fruit. Narcissists are jealous. They're jealous people. They don't want nobody messing with what's theirs. And as an object, when you become an object, they don't want nobody else to have the object, okay? So she was trying to put me on the game to let me know that, hey, you got these other family members, they coming up in here saying that we partying and we drinking tonight and all this, but they at your house when you ain't even home. It was a big snowstorm here. Let me tell you how cheating goes. Oh my goodness, let me tell you. I might have to tell this story on one of the other podcasts too. But I'm going to give you a little bit of this because I still got 2 boxes left to do. And I'm going to give you a look, and then I'm going to take a break, and then I got to cook. I might tell it on the next podcast. Okay, so Mama always told me, she said, watch your house. Remember, everything that goes on in your life is based off of your emotions, your mental, your physical. All of this runs concurrent together. And I had been going through a lot of things with my boyfriend at the time. And he was really mean. I mean, he was hurting me. I was fighting all the time with him. I mean, physical, blow for blow, pound for pound. We were really physically fighting. Mentally, I had checked out. I was done with him. And I said I'm done with him. And I meant that I was done with him. But he wouldn't leave. He wouldn't leave. He'd go away and then he'd come back and I'd be sitting around. I'd be like, I can't keep living my life like this. Okay? This was domestic violence. I couldn't keep living my life like that. The guns. He always had a gun or a machete. I couldn't do it. I needed a way out. So, of course, the way they say you can get out, and it's a stupid way because I wasn't thinking about how dangerous it was at the time. But I started talking to a black guy. I started talking to this black guy. And I said it like that because the guy I was talking to was not black. He was from El Salvador. And so I started cheating on him with this guy. Every time I would go see this guy, it was certain family members would come and be going in and out of my house. And they never saw my mama. My mama was in her mother-in-law's house, which is beside mine. The whole time, my mama clocked every head that came in here. She was able to see. And she didn't tell me who it was. She told me one person. She told me that one person. But as far as other names, she said I got to find out for myself. She knew who they was. But she also knew it would hurt me to tell me who it was. And Mama, she told me I need to stay home and pay attention to what's going on in my house. But this night, I was like, it's, what was it? Was it Christmas? Okay, no, I know what it was. Okay, so the guy I was cheating on him with, it was his birthday. It was about to be his birthday. And we had got a room. This was in December. And it started snowing. Y'all remember that big snow in North Carolina? One of the biggest snows that North Carolina ever seen. I think snow was like 13 inches deep. We got caught in that snowstorm. Now, I was feeling good about being caught in a snowstorm because, my parents had my kids, so I thought, they had the kids, and, I was just feeling good about it. I was like, well, we'll be back in time. But nope. The snowstorm trapped us in. Ouch. Ooh, that hurt my nail. Hurt my nail, y'all. Ooh. Got trapped in the snowstorm for over 3 days. Nothing could come in or come out. And one of those days, my car wouldn't work. No, I sent my car back with my brother because my brother was supposed to come back and pick me up. But he couldn't come back and pick me up because the snow got too bad. And they almost wrecked my car trying to, come back to pick me up. So I ended up staying at this hotel 2 days. After the second day, the hotel man, he was like, you got any more money? If you ain't got no more money, you got to go. We ran out of money. We didn't have no money because we were smoking drugs then. We smoked up all the extra money we had. And he said, y'all got to get out. Nobody was traveling on these roads at all. So we were trying to just make it back to his sister's house. We ended up having to walk. We walked almost a whole day from 11 o'clock that morning. A place that it usually would take, it only takes 20 minutes to drive to. Yeah, about 20 minutes to drive to. To walk, it took all day. That's how deep that snow was. I was freezer burnt and all that. We finally made it to that house. That we were trying to make it to his sister's house. And I finally was able to call my family and let them know I was okay. And the first thing I get is, girl, they having parties at your house. Girl, they throwing down at your house. People coming in and out of your house. They smoking drugs. They are drinking. It was a big party. That dude threw a whole party. And my kids had went with my mama, thank God. With my mom and daddy, thank God. But he threw a whole party. And the liquor and beer that I had here that wasn't supposed to be touched, he gave it away to the very same ones he was cheating on me with. At the time, I didn't know he was on drugs too. But he was on drugs worse than I was. And come to find out, that guy been on drugs the whole time. We was in a relationship. And we was in a relationship for 10 years. And I didn't know he was on drugs 8 of those years. Because those last 2 years, when I found out, I really tried to go. I didn't know because, see, he didn't do it at home. He always got picked up and took off somewhere. When he come back here, all he do would be drunk and go to sleep. So I never knew that he was on drugs. I found out because a person in my family just happened to kept dealing with him. And I said, wait a minute now. I know what they do. Now, if he hanging with them, he got to be doing something else. My mama told me. That's what I'm getting at. My mama said, you going to see who it is. You going to see those you think your friends, and you up here letting them in your house, feeding them and having a good time. You going to see how much of a friend they is to you. Because she fussed at me. She was like, girl, I'm trying to help you. I ain't trying to hurt you. I'm trying to tell you the truth. And I was like, oh, wow. And from that moment on, I believe what she said. If she had something, that's why I tell y'all, don't throw your parents away just because y'all have disagreements. Now, I don't agree sometimes with things Mama say or what she used to do, but I never threw her away either. I still honored. Even though I went through a lot, I still honored. Because in my heart, I felt like that was the right thing to do. Now, I know some people be like, oh, I would have cussed her out. I had a therapist one time that was like, F her, F this, F that, you know. And I was like, I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that. And that part, it won't because I was traumatized. It's because I was raised to respect people, especially those who disrespect me. Because it's a lot into it. What am I going to be like you for? I don't want to be like you. So that's where my respect came from. Learning how to respect people. Whew. Y'all, these bags. Okay, this is done. I'm not doing any more. This is it. That was the last one, thank God. I'm sweating too because it's still 97 degrees, I think. Anyways, what Mama said was right. She was right. She was right. And I'm glad Mama didn't call names. Because if Mama would have called names, I would have been mad at her for calling names. See, she had already raised my mama, my biological mama, so she knew how to handle a situation like that. Yup, she knew how to handle that. And she did good with it. And it was so bad because people knew that I wasn't. I mean, I was trying to get away from the man. I didn't know the only reason why the man was even still around me was so that he could be with my family members. I didn't know that. See, I'm always the last to know. And thank God that I'm always the last to know. Because by the time everybody else know it, by the time it get to me, everybody else is out of breath about it. Because they already bragged about it, laughed in my face about how I got done, about how they partied in my house, how they took my money, how he was taking my money and supplying all in. They got to laugh about all that. But now when I look back over my life, and I think about how Mama was handling things with me, she took me slow with that. She didn't throw me out there and leave me. She continued to watch my house when I was gone. She still do. She still watch my house to this day. When she can. And I don't mind now because, see, now that I'm older, I see what she was doing and saying. But, man, that was some terrible times. Them was some terrible days, y'all. But we live and we learn. And through all of that, Mama, she sat me down after everything was over. The snow was over. And she said, now that they gone, we need to go through your house and see what we can find in here. Because it ain't no telling what people have left in your house. And my mama was right. I found pipes in my house. I found it was voodoo stuff. I found a lot of voodoo in my house. So the enemy don't just come to make you miserable. The enemy comes to kill, steal, and destroy you. If Mama hadn't guided me through how to get all that stuff together and just get it out my house, I don't know what. I probably would have went crazy or lost my mind. And, God allowed things to happen for a reason. Everybody that comes into your life is for a reason. It's for a season. If you hang on to the season too long, it's your fault. And the guy who helped get me out of this, which is my ex, I stayed with him 15 years. We had a good 2 years. Listen what I'm saying. I stayed with him 15 years, but we only had a good 2 years. If I had left when the season was up, at the end of those 2 years, I would have been a lot better than to keep pushing and holding on and listening to the Mr. Charlie words. Because we only had a good 2-year season, a good 2-year run after I became single. And I became single for real. That's when he started changing. He started, he started putting me down about how I would clean. Y'all, we're going to talk about that another day because once I get to an hour, I'm not going to, he started putting me down about a lot of things that I would, he just criticized me about everything I did. He picked on me, the way I would have my shoes in the house, the way I had the order set up for the kids. I mean, everything I did, this man made me feel little. And then, like, when I would go around to some of his family house, he would have them put their things like that to try to, they would fix their shoes where I could see that, kind of like mocking me and things. And I should have left them then. But the truth was, I stayed 13 years too long. Nothing good came out of that relationship. The 2 years would have done it. Been done, got on. And that messed me up. I couldn't clean. I used to love to clean before he came. And before the ex came, I was always cleaning, mop my floors every Saturday night. I was mopping the floors. I want to be ready for Sunday morning. Plus, I got to go to work Sunday night. So if I do anything, I got to clean on Saturdays. Monday through Friday, I was busy working. So my cleaning days was always on Saturdays. He even took that away. He took that away because now on Saturdays, he always had somebody coming or coming up here to the house or we were going to see them. I lost my identity to these guys. I gave it to them. Trying to look like I was doing something. I wasn't doing nothing. He would run back and tell people, oh, this is how she washed dishes. She got to sit down to wash dishes. Let me show you how she do it. That was so embarrassing. I'm not embarrassed of it now to sit down and wash dishes. But that was so embarrassing. When he would get mad at me, he'd be like, y'all see her bedroom. You think you're going to get somebody, go see her bedroom. When he would think that I was trying to talk to somebody else, some other guy, or he would go into some of them jealous rages, he'd yell out, you ought to go see her bedroom. You change your mind then about her. She ain't nothing but a nasty ass female. That's how he talked about me. Like that. Which wasn't true. It wasn't true. There was some things on the floor and, some things, but not true because I have a thing about certain things, so I know everything he was saying was not true. And he would wait till I would leave and go off long distant places and bring people here and say, look, let me show you this, let me show you that. He would mess the house up just to show people or prove to people that he was telling the truth. But I was not as bad as he was saying. My house was good until, it was, when I got back on feet after the breakup. Because I ain't had time to rest in between breakups. Because me and him immediately, that's a whole nother story, because I still question myself, was we really even in a relationship? Because I don't never remember him asking me to be his girlfriend. He didn't never ask me that. Anyway, y'all, that would be a topic for another day. But we got these bags down, and I ended up getting 1, 2, 3, 4 bags of boxes, and that's a good thing. I'm going to get ready in the next 8 minutes. I got to cook. But y'all, look, don't stop cleaning. Don't overdo it. You know, take your time. Ease your way into it. Ease your way back out of it. I set a timer. I said I was going to spend 30 minutes on boxes. I won't count how many I was going to do. I just said I'm going to just put 30 minutes to it, because I had not taken out any, and they taking up space in my kitchen. So I got 30 minutes worth of work done, and I'm sweating because it's hot here in North Carolina. And even with the air on, it's hot. I'm getting a little better too with this, my throat. I'm getting better. Thank you for your prayers. Yeah, don't try to overdo it in this heat. In this heat, and you know, just do what you can do. Yeah, do what you can do. Don't overdo it, because then you're going to be stressing yourself out, and you ain't going to want to do anything. I think doing this in moderation helps me a whole lot. When I clean in moderation, the next day I get up, I say, okay, I can do this. And I do. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think I'm going to have like 10 bags to take out. About 10 bags for the trash haul. And I want to definitely get that box out from in front of that refrigerator. I can't stand that big box. I don't know why they be sending these big boxes. And them big boxes have like 3 things in it. And that's it. It's medical boxes, by the way, y'all. These are medical. I get supplies, and they come in these medical boxes. Sometimes they be the right size they supposed to be, and then other times they know doggone well they should not be sending them big boxes for no. I remember one time they sent me this big box for 1 pair of gloves. I swear they doing it on purpose. Yep. And drink some water. Okay, guys. Peace, love, and happiness. Keep cleaning with me on Hello Life. Y'all go have a great one. Uh-oh. Trying to cut it out.